I'll need you to go away.
I don't take orders from you.
Everyone takes orders from me.
Everyone takes orders from me, and Detective Whitman better do as he says, because Simon Stern is someone who never backs down until he gets what he wants, which was a lesson Ghost even learned from Simon Stern on more than one occasion, which is probably one of the many reasons why he aspired to the wealth and power of someone like Simon Stern. So if someone like Ghost aspired to the wealth and power of Stern, just how powerful is he? He's got the money, he's got influence, and he's powerful. So could he just be the most powerful man on power? So in this video, we're going to run through how he controlled Ghost, but also how Ghost was the only person to get the better of him as well. But despite Ghost getting the better of Simon Stern, he's now back on top, now that Ghost is gone. And now that he's in business with Tariq, which is crucial as to why Simon Stern will never go away. So we're going to look at how and why he could get Zeke out of trouble, his influence at Stansfield, and where Rashad Tate comes into all of this as well, because I do think he plays a key role in this. But first, we need to rewind it back to power, because we need to understand just who Simon Stern is, who we're dealing with, and how we got the better of Ghost by using a few principles from the 48 Laws of Power. And what Simon Stern was good at was discovering Ghost's thumbscrew, his weaknesses, and lack of focus. Now, Simon Stern realized that Ghost was special, and what made Truth so successful was Ghost. The secret behind Truth's success was James St. Patrick, and Ghost wanted Simon Stern to give him an offer, but the offer that he gave Ghost, he would never have accepted, because he was his own man with his own mind, and he would never accept being someone else's number two. But this is why Simon Stern liked Ghost and wanted to control him. So Simon Stern went and bought the building and became Ghost's landlord. He used Ghost to get the liquor license, went through all the safety checks, the board meetings to get Truth reopened after the Pink Sneakers shooting. He basically got Ghost to do all the work for him. Another one of the 48 Laws of Power which he used on Ghost, which is get others to do the work for you. So Simon Stern was really proving to be a pain for Ghost, and because he owned the building, he could have opened Truth there and then without Ghost. And this is how he got control over him, but it's what he did behind the scenes. He went and bought Truth the day after Ghost told him that they went from potential partners to competitors. Simon Stern was playing a game of chess with Ghost in the real world of business, but he knew himself, if Ghost was focused, he could never beat him, because he was more creative, imaginative, and younger. And in typical Ghost fashion, where there's a will, there's always a way. And with the use of Simon Stern's ex-wife, Madeline, which was Simon Stern's thumbscrew, Ghost found Simon Stern's weaknesses and him hiding his assets, as well as having offshore accounts in a company named Ravenna, which was their daughter's name, who died when she was born, and this fueled Madeline to go after Stern. And now Ghost and Madeline shared a common goal and interest, which was to take down Simon Stern for their own personal reasons. And this was Simon Stern's thumbscrew, and Ghost went from being 3 moves behind Simon Stern to being 3 moves ahead of him. Madeline exposed his books and him embezzling money and took control over a lot of Simon Stern's assets, and Ghost then bought Truth, Verbatim, and Syrup, and Ghost came out on top. But let's not forget, Simon Stern is a very good chess player, and he never backs down until he gets what he wants, because nobody says no to him, just like Detective Whitman will find out very soon. But when Ghost found himself in jail, he realized it was the perfect time to strike and get back on top, and Stern took full advantage of Ghost's financial situation. After Ghost's assets were frozen, Stern knew the way to get control over Ghost was money in this situation, and this is one of the tools at his disposal in achieving power and control. Simon Stern has ample amounts of money, but knowing very well that Ghost would never accept his terms, he took advantage of Tasha instead, and just like this, he was back in business with James again. But coming away from their battles, Ghost definitely learned a lot from Simon Stern. For example, Stern telling Ghost in Season 4 Episode 9, knowing who to trust is the most important skill to have. And Ghost certainly needed this lesson, because we saw how he screwed up in trusting Kanan when he killed Roller, and bringing Dre on board and teaching him his blueprint, which he used against Ghost with Cynthia Sheridan. And those are just 2 examples. But coming back to the present day, Stern continued to show an obsession over Ghost and trying to obtain Truth, and this is something that continued even after Ghost died. Tasha told him that if he wants Truth, then Tariq's trust will give him the club, as long as he gets Tariq into Stansfield. And he did get Tariq into Stansfield, but guess what? He put Tariq in Stansfield on the condition that he gets Zeke's grades up, because he plays or he doesn't stay. Because although Simon Stern is a man of influence, he likes control and power, and he wanted to keep control over Tariq exactly like he did with his father. And even to the point where he wanted Tariq to give a glowing image of Ghost at his funeral, because that's what would benefit Stern. So you can say he is definitely keeping close tabs on Tariq, because he has a lot to gain from Tariq graduating from college, which is his clubs, and he probably has a bigger plan for him in the future as well, because he sees James in Tariq St. Patrick, just like he told Tariq, he reminds him of his father. So everything Simon Stern benefits him, and he has a lot of power around Stansfield. He'll know everything that's going on with the murder investigation, and how else do you think he knows about Detective Whitman causing up a big stir at Stansfield? He has eyes and ears everywhere, and this is one of the reasons why he's placed Rashad Tate right in the middle of Stansfield as the new Canonical Studies professor. Everything Tate heard here will definitely go back to Simon Stern, which is why we're probably going to see Stern approaching Detective Whitman to back off the case, because if Zeke is in trouble, that means Tariq's position at Stansfield is as well, which means Stern doesn't get what he wants, and he always gets what he wants. But whether he's able to get Whitman to back off will reveal just how much power Simon Stern really has. So consider this part 1 to Simon Stern's power, because we need to see how the events unfold over the next few episodes to see if Simon Stern really is the most powerful man in power. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think Simon Stern is the most powerful man in power? Drop all your comments down below in the comment section, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.